Yes, dear viewers, you are welcome to another edition of today's Daybreak Africa. Today, we shall be looking at some issues again that has to do with fundamental human rights of Nigerians, most especially. With me, I'm having Barrister Ajegbemiga Wemimo. Good to have you, sir.
He's a player.
Today, of course, yes, people are talking about fundamental human rights. If you go there, fundamental human rights. What is even the meaning of fundamental human rights? And some other issues attached to it. These are some of the things that our dear barrister will be analyzing. So over to you, sir. What is the meaning of fundamental human rights?
Now, when we talk of fundamental human rights, I want to believe that it depends on the school in which you belong, in which you can give a better definition for fundamental human rights, school of thought in which you belong. Now, I want to say that when we talk of fundamental human rights, we are talking of the liberty in which every person enjoys in a society. Now, when we talk of a country like Nigeria, we are talking of the liberty we enjoy, our entitlement, the liberty we as citizens enjoy in a country as a member of that country. So that is what I can say. But it depends. It has different types of definitions. It depends on the school of thought in which you are talking from, or the background of the schools in which you are coming from. For example, if you are talking of social definition, the sociology, they have their own definition. We have the psychology, they have their own definition. But legally, if you are talking of human rights, we are talking of the liberty. We are talking of entitlement of each citizen of a nation that is being enshrined in the constitution of the country, just like Nigeria. We are talking of Chapter 4 of the Constitution of Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended. So that is where we have human rights.
Okay, like you said, we have different definitions for fundamental human rights. But at this juncture, we want to be so specific about the meaning of fundamental human rights. What do I mean? I want you to please help us to nail it well. The meaning of fundamental human rights that has to do with the rights of Nigerian citizens. What are the rights that we have under the Constitution?
Now, when we talk of fundamental human rights, as enshrined in the Chapter 4 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that is 1999 as amended, we have different types. We have right to life, right to property, right to dignity of human person, right to fair hearing, family life, thought, conscience, and religion, expression, and a lot like that. Like freedom, right to freedom of movement, from discrimination, freedom from discrimination, acquire property, movable and immovable properties, acquisition of properties, and we have different types. That is entitlement of citizens of this nation, Nigeria.
Now, on the issue of fair hearing, freedom of fair hearing, sir, as a legal luminary, do you agree that probably Nigerians are enjoying what is called freedom of hearing at all?
Now, when we talk of fundamental rights and we are talking of fair hearing, we shouldn't forget one thing. That means where your rights ends, another person's own begins. One thing is that you have the right to stretch your hand. You don't have right to give me blow. So we should also understand that. Now, when we talk of fair hearing, fine. That means freedom to talk, freedom to be heard. Now, when you look at it very well, to me as a person, when we talk of the present government in which we are practicing, we can say that I give them like 60%. To say that, okay, at least we allow people to say what they have in mind. But are we saying that we have 100%? of that right in Nigeria? No. My answer is 60% because of what? Because of events that have taken place in this nation, in which we just say, okay, some people will not be allowed into courtroom. Some lawyers will not be allowed. Of recent, we have a judgment or a ruling of a federal high court that says that henceforth, there should not be any barricade before maybe very close to the court or anything that has to do with court that allow lawyers to go. Because when you look at court is an open place in which you allowed the litigant, you allow people to come in to listen, you allowed the judge to be there, you allowed the lawyers to also. That's where we trade our market. You allow us to enter into the place. But when you look at it very well, in some instances, you discover that some lawyers were being asked to wait outside because probably, quote and unquote, a special case in the court, which should not be. And any government that is practicing that, can we now say that we are giving the person 100%, that he has given the citizen of the nation 100% fair hearing? No. That is why I said, under this government, I can only give them 60% to say that, yes. And I think 60% is okay.
Okay, sir, you made mention of something now that, of course, you can give them a scorecard of like 60%.
Yes.
What is your yardstick for giving them that 60%? For Nigerians to know if indeed this very administration should be given that very 60%.
Now, when we talk of fundamental right, human right that has to do with fair hearing, it covers a lot of ground. That means ability to be able to express your opinion, not minding the God. You talk to the government so that if there is any area in which you want the government to change, you at least tell them. And aside from that, we have some other individuals, organizations that you just have to, this is how it should be. And it shouldn't be government alone. It can be to another person, and can be to maybe a government, a prestator, and all. So that is what I can say for now in respect of that.
Sir, it is everywhere of recent that the U.S. government threatened to sanction Nigeria if they find out that Nigeria is still denying its citizens their human rights, their fundamental human rights. You as a lawyer, do you agree? What will you say to this one? And two, is it true that truly Nigerian government, they always infringe on the fundamental human right of our citizens?
Thank you very much. Yes, when we talk of US threatening to sanction Nigeria, yes, they have the right to do it. How? Immediately after independence, 1960, Nigeria entered into agreement, treaty with the US government on issue of right. And one thing is this, immediately Nigeria entered into this, we were looking for friends all over the world. Oh, civilization has come and all these government of the people, now we are the one ruling our people, so we are just moving from one place and saying, oh, please come and be our friend, come and be our friend. And you shouldn't forget that we got independence from the British government. So with this one, we were looking for friends all about, and that was what led us to having treaty with the US government. So now, when we talk of this, now having entered into treaty with them that covers human rights, are we now saying they don't have right to challenge us? That, oh, what are you are going beyond or outside our agreement. So, and there are ways of doing it. They have the power to control. They have the power to tell you, don't do this. If you do this, there are ways of also checkmating you. That is what the US government is saying, that come, with the way you are going, that means they are able to see that the government, the present government of Nigeria, is trampling upon the right, fundamental human right of citizens of this nation. And that was why they came by saying, oh, we are threatening you, to say, you have to go back.
Do you agree to the fact that Nigerian governments trample on the fundamental human rights of our citizens?
Yes. I want to say about the one that just occurred of recent. That is in respect of Honorable Justice Hodili, the Justice of Supreme Court of Nigeria. And it's funny, it's funny, and does not give us a very good, doesn't portray us good in the eyes of the international world. How will some people come and say, yes, we want to enter into the premises of a justice of Nigeria, and now they claim to have a search warrant. They claim to have a document giving them the opportunity to so do. And thank God, he was able to cry out so that people will be able to up to today. Now, what the government is saying is this: oh, we don't know, we didn't say, about 13 or 14 people were being arrested. And they said they would charge them to court. And one of them was able to voice out that it was a particular person that gave him that opportunity or the right, or gave him the order to so do. And the person said, no, I've not seen you in my life. This will be my first time of seeing. But he did not mention, mind you, he never mentioned my name. He never mentioned Mr. President's name. He never mentioned the governor's name. He mentioned a particular person. Now the question is this: who went to that court? Who filed the application? Who moved the application in court? What is the affidavit in support of the application? Who deposed to that affidavit? So with all this, we should be able to know. And now, today, you see a lot of people are saying, yo, the government are behind it. The government are saying we are not behind it. Now, those people that are arrested, what happened to them? Where are they now? Have they been charged to court? Are we now saying that their own fundamental human right is not being trampled upon? Where are they? Are they still in police custody? Are they in DSS custody? Why is it that they have not been charged before the court? And forgetting that the Constitution says that they must not stay beyond 24 hours. And we now say they've not stayed in that, wherever they are, the custody they have, more than 24 hours. So when you look at that one, that is number one. Number two is this. Now, they take a case, special case. And in that special case, some lawyers will be denied access to court. Some other litigants will be denied access to court just because a particular special case is being taken in the court. Thank God there is an application that was brought before the court, and the court granted it that come henceforth. Nobody should barricade the road to the court. Nobody should deny the lawyers access to the court, and some other things like that.
Even journalists.
Yes, even journalists. So are we now saying that the government outside, other nations, are we now say they are not looking at us? Don't forget that the whole world is just a global village. If you talk in Saudi Arabia, before 20 minutes, people will hear you. So what we are saying is this: when we talk of fundamental human rights, the government of US has the right to sanction Nigeria. How do they sanction? That is the next question. Financial sanction, trade. They can sanction us. They can deny us. Okay, what they do is not even US alone. All those people who are also with US, they will tell them, don't give them any trade. Don't sell to them, don't buy from them. And when you don't sell, when you don't buy from them, what happened? And don't forget, our nation, are we not dependent? Do we produce anything in this nation? So that is when they now bring in the sanction, it will eat into the system of this nation. And before you know what is happening, there is going to be a problem. Today, how much is $1 to Nigeria? $1 is about 575 naira to just $1. That is, there is no sanction from the US. By the time they bring in this sanction, what is going to happen? We are talking of maybe $1 will be about 900 and something or 1,000 and something. And what will happen to our market here? Don't forget, we are not producing nothing in this nation.
Thank you so much, sir. Of course, if you are just joining us, we've been having a very beautiful discussion with Barrister Ajegbemiga Wemimo. is a legal luminary. Yes, sir. Of course, that one will take us to this present issue that is on board concerning the Kogi State government and that of the EFCC. EFCC got hold of about 20 billion naira belonging to the Kogi State government. And of recent, probably this weekend, the Commissioner for Information of the state, a person of Mr. Banwo, denied the allegation that it's like EFCC is being used to wishon his boss, that's the governor of Kogi, a person of Yaya Bello. As a lawyer, do you agree to the fact that EFCC is being used against the governor? Or, of course, yes, what is going to be your take on this very issue? The money that is being stashed in one of the banks.
My answer to this boils down on some questions. And the questions are, is there any money being stashed? That is one. Number two, what is the name of the bank? Number three is that EFCC, do they have right to make such a comment? And do they have right also to investigate? And the next question is, the AFCC, have they investigated the money in question? And now, are we now saying that BAMWO, that means the Commissioner for Information, Kogi State, is saying that yes, they are just using it, it's just being politically being escalated just because of the politics of the day, or probably 2022 or 2023 or whatever. Now, this is what I want to say. I remember in this same Kogi State, we have workers who were there crying. I even read why some committed suicide, because the government of the day, as at then, was owing them about 22 months' salary. So if the EFCC are now saying that, oh, we saw about 19 billion or 20 billion in an account being started by the state government, I think the EFCC, the government, the EFCC parastatal has got the right to investigate, and not investigation alone, and also to prosecute, because the law gives them the power, the right to so do. Now, if you are now talking of, oh, someone is saying it is being politically motivated and they are just wishing it. No, far from it. Let EFCC do their job. Theirs is not to make noise. Make investigation. After concluding your investigation, then you prosecute whoever is guilty or is liable. You take them to court. And it's now for the court to now say, okay, this money is not in Kogi, or the money belongs to somewhere in one forest. Because we have experienced a lot of things in Nigeria. In this same Nigeria, snake has swallowed our naira. In this same Nigeria, monkey has scattered away money in this Nigeria. But this time around, they are talking of a state, about 19 billion naira. So I think the best thing to do is for EFCC to just carry out their investigation and charge whoever is liable to court. Now, if you now have anything to say, oh, you are free, go to court, you'll be there. You will now explain your own side of the story. But what we believe and what is happening and what the information outside is 19 billion is being stacked in a bank. And the name of the bank is Zenith Bank. Who holds the money in the account? Kogi State government. Are we now saying that for the fact that Kogi State government, because it's government, we cannot just say, oh, PFCs cannot investigate? They will investigate. It is their duty, it's their power to investigate. They should investigate. And truly, we cannot conclude now. We cannot conclude now because, a lot of people do say, yes, say all this. Let everybody, let the EFCC perform their duty. On what is their duty? To investigate. And after investigation, what do? They prosecute. It's not left for the court to determine.
Dear viewers, Thank you so much. Like I said, we've been having a discussion with Barrister Ajegbemiga Wemimo, a lawyer, a legal luminary, and permit me to say that human rights activist. Thank you for having you on board, sir.
You are welcome.
Thank you so much. Dear viewers, of course, yes, this is where we shall be drawing the curtain of today's edition of Daybreak Africa. Till next time that we shall be meeting, Temitope Adedeji says, God bless Nigeria. God bless you all.